You all know the types of people that we classify as goofballs. You got anti-vaxxers, people who deny science and think the world is flat, and then even people who drink pumpkin spice lattes. But today we're going to be taking a look at something that transcends goofball to a word that isn't even in the English language. It's just one of those things you're going to have to watch to understand how silly it is. But to give you the best summary I can, it's an exercise of defending yourself against physical attacks using psychic energy to create a force field of sorts.
Hold the energy down into your body. And lock it in the belly. Look up, look up!
That little thrust into spirit bomb maneuver is just a taste of what's in store. I wanted to ease you into it. I didn't want to just splash you with the cold water straight off the bat. I wanted to warm you up to it a bit before I throw you in the deep end.
Pull it down. When you get to the chest, bend the knees, arms apart, and push the energy out the hands. Big breath. Yes, keep breathing. Good, good, good. More power, more passion, more power.
I don't know what that lady in the back's doing. The rest of them look like they're trying to squeeze a yoga ball, like they're trying to pop a yoga ball going. And then she's back there doing like windmills. It reminds me of an exercise I used to do when I played soccer to warm up my shoulders. Her doing this with her arms reminds me of that superhero clip of the behind the scenes footage of the Flash, like without the special effects. He's just standing there going.
We're not gonna win this today.
Like without the special effects, the movements they're doing look real silly, and that's what they look like. They look real wacky.
Good. Yes, Magnus, good. Good. Yes.
This man's walking like he just got penetrated by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Just took that Holy Trinity straight up through the butthole.
So, you've got a lot of power, but it's not really coming out. Okay? Real focus. Out, now, everything. Somebody's life depends on it, so it's now or never.
Wait. Whose life depends on it? Obama's? Like, is this what Jesus did to resurrect on the third day? How is this life or death right now, man? You better start going. Or your granny's dead. This is serious right now. Take this serious.
Yes, good, good. Look into your hands. Into the space between the hands. Yes, good, good. Big breath.
I don't know why, but this is what I imagine crackheads do after they just like take a bunch of meth together in a flock. They just start doing all these like synchronized dance moves like a crackhead dancing group.
Look into the hands. Look into the hands. Power coming out there. Big breath. Good. Look into the hands.
If I'm being honest, this is just what white people look like when we dance anyways. Like, we don't have any dance moves. You just kind of got to move a little bit. Like, we don't... If you just showed me that clip of that middle-aged woman just completely out of context, I would assume it was footage of her when she went out with her other middle-aged girlfriends on a gal's night out, and she was on the dance floor trying to dance like the young people. Like, oh, is this what them youngins call twerking?
Good. Good.
Any loser can do this and call it some form of energy channeling. Like, you could just stand up and go, ugh, I've been standing in the DMV line for 2 hours and there's a lady with a baby in front of me that won't stop crying. Pick up the baby, squeeze the baby, pump the baby. It's good!
So is there anybody who wants to try defending themselves? Well, it'll work, so it doesn't you really have to try. But is anybody ready? You're ready, actually, and you're ready. Do you want to do this? It's like pushing forward. With a shout. You ready? Yes, come here.
Now this is where it's about to get crazy. We're about to see if there's any truth to back up this goofy energy channeling, or if it's all just a bunch of tinfoil crackpot nonsense. Because they're about to charge this woman and see if her force field can stop them. Let's see.
You stand here, and Magnus and Rebecca, you prepare her. And I don't know when I'm going to come, so you have to prepare her quick.
Just look at her face before we show this, man. Look at that face. She doesn't want to do this. She don't want to be here. She just thought it was going to be fun to do, and now she's kind of regretting it because this full-grown man is about to run at her like they're on the football field, and she's about to score a touchdown. This is the Super Bowl. They're on the 5-yard line. There's just a linebacker going up against a wide receiver. She is the wide receiver carrying the ball in this scenario, and he is Ray Lewis. And let's see what happens in that situation.
Andas in, upp, andas in, för in energin, ner. Yes. Knip, håll. Knip, håll.
Oh, golly goodness. What do you know? A force field can't stop Ray Lewis. She definitely has a concussion. That man trucked her. He hit-sticked her. That was a massive hit. I thought it was even so goofy how after he hit her, he goes to check on her, but then realizes, oh, I need to start flopping and acting like I got hurt too so I won't be in as much trouble. So he just falls over and starts acting like a dead fish to act like he also got hurt a little bit in this situation and he didn't just kill this poor woman. It's like when you're fighting with your siblings and you accidentally hurt your sibling really bad and you don't really get hurt, but you gotta act like he hurt you also, so it's like even punishment for both of you. You'll both get spanked, or maybe you'll get spanked a little bit less, so you just act like you got hurt too. You're like, oh, my elbow, oh my god, I think he punched me in the, ooh. That's what he did right there. Or maybe it's for the video footage. He knows there's a camera on him, so in case she wants to sue, he's like, oh, I got hurt too. Look at me, I'm hurt too. Get this on camera. I'm hurt too.
Where were you guys? Where the fuck were you guys?
I can't believe that this Numbskull has the balls to try to blame his Neanderthal assistants instead of reflecting on himself and being like, oh, maybe force fields aren't real, and all this stuff I've been practicing and preaching is a scam. Maybe I'm a phony. Yeah. Now they're just rubbing salt in the wound with this healing nonsense they're doing. It would have been more effective if they told her to just get up and walk it off. I'm surprised he didn't crawl over there and say, oh, I didn't even hit you that hard. You're overreacting. Him doing this stupid little hand thing where he's shaking it and acting like he's healing her after his force field worked so perfectly there and blocked his attack. It was super effective. I'm sorry, I'll stop making fun of the injured woman now. It's practically the same thing as picking up a stick that looks like a gun and acting like you're shooting people, or just shooting people with finger guns. It has the same effect as what he's trying to do right now. You're not healing her. You're just insulting her. You're making fun of her injury you just gave her. Oh my god, it's all imaginary, man. It's in your head. But now, if giving a poor lady a concussion wasn't enough, they're about to do another exercise to, you know, strengthen their force fields. I guess they're trying to teach you how to have the powers of Emperor Palpatine. You're shocking them, or maybe you're just inducing a seizure in them. Anyways, let me show you how to perfect this art form in case you ever need to hit an old lady and get away with it.
That you know without a sand grain of doubt that it works, and then it does. But you can't work with this energy with doubt. So she'll be fine, and we'll really look after her.
I wouldn't trust this psychopath enough for him to open his mouth and let me shit in it, let alone take care of me after he probably just gave me a concussion and then blames me for getting hurt, saying that I didn't believe enough or that I had too much doubt, so that's why my force field didn't work. It's definitely not because force fields aren't real and we're not living in imaginary land, but the fact that this guy is trying to blame this poor woman who believed him enough to be one of his little test dummies, That's so insane, man. Blaming her, saying that she had too much doubt, and that's why her force field wasn't strong enough to stop a force of nature like him. You know, he's just like a freight train. You gotta move, or you gotta have a strong enough force field to stop it, you know? If your force fields work so well, why don't you try to create a force field and then have someone run at you? Why don't we try it that way? Why don't you practice what you preach, buddy? The fact that people like this have anyone that believes them, it baffles me, man.
You fucking victim! Don't come here, you fucking king! The victim and the king is the same thing! It's exactly the same! There is not the something. It is exactly the same.
What?
You said that you are the king and I'm the victim. Think about it. It's the same thing.
I'm not sure what she's yelling about at the end. Something about victim is all I understood. Now, this did take place in, like, Sweden, I think. It was part of a documentary. And maybe it's like a language barrier thing, or maybe it's part of the concussion she just got. But I don't know what she's trying to get across, but I'm inclined to be on her side and not the person she's yelling at. I'm definitely on her team, just for the record. These people definitely do need to get yelled at, because I guess they didn't get yelled at enough when they were kids, so maybe that's what led them to this. Maybe he thought that little situation, the hypothetical of what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force, maybe he thought that was what was going to happen because of their mystical, magical energy powers. But I would have probably took the hint that that's not working really well when not even the sand is moving because of your energy powers that you're exerting. If there was a force field or any energy of sorts coming from your body, I would imagine at least a couple grains of sand were going to, like, move around you or something, but I didn't even see that, so I'm about to say this isn't real. Anyways, that's from, like, 2008, and it's the first time I'm seeing it, so I had to make a video on it, no matter how ancient it is, especially in internet times. That's like looking back on what happened before the Big Bang. It was so long ago, nobody remembers 2008. Come on, this is internet times, and we have a new drama every single day. But yeah, this is one of those things that ages like Fon 1. It gets wackier and goofier as time passes. But anyways, I'll catch you next time. And remember, if someone's trying to teach you how to channel your energies and then wants you to stand in front of them while they run at you, probably say no, or maybe sidestep them and hit them with like a stiff arm. Something like that. A good rule of thumb is don't believe people who try to do something that you've seen in sci-fi or fantasy movies, like create a force field. I'm surprised he didn't pull out a gun and say, create your force field to block this bullet or you're gonna die. But anyways, I'll catch you next time, man.